Jim Norton.
Oh.
Featured on Celebrity Ghost Stories on the Lifetime Movie Network.
Lifetime Movie Network.
Yeah.
It's a weird channel.
It kept saying Lifetime, and it wasn't on Lifetime. It was on Lifetime Movie Network. That's where they show all those movies where, like, Marky Post gets a boyfriend, and he's wonderful. Just the greatest guy in the world. But Marky Post's best friend sees something wrong.
Really?
Marky Post can't fucking understand why.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you're just jealous of my new great boyfriend. And they kind of drift apart a little bit. And then something happens, and this boyfriend, you realize, oh, my God, he's a fucking asshole.
Her friend was right?
Well, yeah. And then it gradually grows into him just punching her about the face around the house. And then he's ready to kill her. Ready to kill her. And who comes swooping in like Han Solo?
I have no idea.
To fucking clear the field. The best friend.
Oh, thank God. I thought she was gone.
Nah, she comes in and saves the day.
Woo.
Just proving once again on Lifetime that men are pieces of fucking shit.
Yep. And that was proven with Jim Norton's Ghost Story.
Oh, it certainly was. Dude, this was great.
I watched it. You can get it. I actually bought it on iTunes because the player wasn't working. I think a few fans might have gone there. And so I bought it and watched it. And
it was so fun to watch.
I'm watching, I remember what I said.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching what they show. That's the way it is. They edit and do it. They actually do a good job with putting together a cohesive story.
Oh, yeah. It was.
I was like watching. I'm like, this isn't scary, but it was because it was mine.
No, it was a good story.
Was it really? Again, watching your own thing.
It was a good story. It was creepy. And the only thing is, as I'm watching it, I'm like, Jim would have conveyed this story to us at some point on the air. And I didn't remember really hearing this story.
Well, part of it I've told, but the other part.
Well, that's just it.
You kept to yourself all these years?
Perhaps you realize that something will work very well.
It was great. I mean, you were stoic. You played it very straight. As you told the story. I love the reenactments.
Oh, my God.
There was the Jimmy guy and then Dice. You're reenacting this time where you're in Vegas.
That actor who played Dice looks just like
Rob
Dice.
Bartlett looks more like him when he does him in the morning.
He does the Dice impression in the morning.
And the guys who played Kenny and Happy Face.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And Jimmy's drinking.
I know.
They are Jimmy and Dice down in some booze.
So how long ago did you film it?
I probably filmed that 5 months ago, and 4 months ago.
The whole time, are you thinking, "Oh God, I hope they don't figure this out"?
Yeah. See, when I did it, I had to be careful because there's a lot of, let's just say, a lot of that actually happened.
Okay.
A good piece of that did happen.
Yeah.
You stayed in the hotel.
And it was in Nevada.
Oh.
But no, there was a couple of other parts that really did completely creep me out. But, you remember things like, oh, yeah, that happened too.
That is creepy. Did you really hear the pool balls?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but I'll tell you how I heard it.
Oh, please, yes, because this is all scary.
Should we watch a little bit of it?
You want
Yeah, let's watch a little of
I'm
Celebrity.
embarrassed watching it. Oh.
No, it's great, Jimmy.
Everybody's got a scary
great.
story.
Yes, yes.
I don't blink too much in this. I'm very proud of myself. I was watching my eyes. I'm like, ooh, Blinky McBlink fuck finally got under control.
Are you conscious of it now?
I'm conscious of it since 1974. I've been conscious of it. Where can they go to watch it?
They can go to mylifetime.com and
find it.
Yeah,
and I know
or you can just Google Celebrity Ghost Stories, and it's the
Jim Norton.
It's also on our Facebook.
I know on FiOS it was on demand. I was able to just click, and there I was.
Wait, mylifetime.com?
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's like 2013.
I know. It's amazing, the future.
Whatever.
Here's Jimmy Norton, Celebrity Ghost Stories.
This was not the voices of people that I was with. I mean, at a point, I thought that I had gone crazy. There was something wrong with me that I'm hearing this.
Comedian and actor Jim Norton has been performing for sold-out audiences for over 2 decades.
Apparently, they haven't been showing up to the gigs.
That's what it says. While in Las Vegas, Jim jumped at the chance to stay in a high roller suite.
That is true.
It was a decision he would quickly regret.
This music is scary.
It is
I
frightening.
used to tour with Andrew Dice Clay.
Liar.
I love the guy that got to play
The
dice.
guy that got-
This is about
All right,
1999,
look.
2000.
Pause it a second. I could just see pausing and pausing here.
Yeah.
The guy they got to play dice looks nothing like Dice.
No.
He doesn't even have a good bedazzled Dice jacket.
No, he looks like one of John Travolta's friends in Greece.
Yes. Kanicki or something. And then the guy that got to play you, he put on that face that is a Jim face. He put on your little smug face. Who is that guy?
I don't know, but he doesn't look like me from the front. He looks like there's a couple scenes in the hotel where they're not showing the actual face, but from the side.
Really? Yeah.
And I'm like, from that angle, he does look like me. But it's like, you could have just got me to do it.
Yeah, why did they just get... You'd have done it.
I'd done it. I'd have paid my own airfare. But I think that I wonder if they get guys to do it because they're probably afraid that the person will be too territorial about things and start trying to, and they probably just get two actors to do what we tell them to do, to knock it out in an hour.
Right, because they're going to edit up your story. So
There's
they're like,
gotta
let's
be
just...
there's got to be a whole industry of like actors that do recreations now because so many shows do recreations.
My ex hated dramatization actors with a vengeance.
Really?
Loathed them. And
That's
I'll read the text she sent after. It was-
Okay. Yeah, let's
I
continue.
used to tour with Andrew Dice Clay. That was his opening act.
Whacking music.
This is about 1999, 2000, and we worked in Vegas. So Andrew got a contract at the Stardust,
Doesn't look like
which
him.
was one of those really old school, original Vegas hotels, which for a long time it was like the place to be.
Isn't
But
as
there was
great.
that feeling in that place that I didn't feel in any of the other Vegas hotels. It just felt like there was something heavy.
Is this
and
true?
Something uncomfortable.
Is that true?
Yes. I'll tell you what. The room that they put us in, I'm frightened.
We should turn the lights off and you should put a flashlight by your chin and tell us.
Good luck finding it.
Forever.
There was two buildings at the Stardust Hotel. There was the big hotel that everyone sees as the Stardust, and then there was the 9th floor. And they didn't portray. I guess they have to. It doesn't really. They'd have to edit the 9th floor of the high roller building, which was right next to it, which was a smaller building. And the 9th floor was as high as it went, and the top floor was like the presidential suite. So Dice got the presidential suite, and
I'm the president.
but I think that the hotel kind of creeped him out a little bit, and he bought a house in Vegas, so I got to stay in that suite, and Kenny doesn't remember this, but he was there at that time, and him and Happy Face I think were on the floor, and the 9th floor was deserted. It was just, I think it was myself, and then Happy had a room, Kenny had a room, and I had a room, and Dice had the big suite. So there's 4 of us on that floor. My regular room I wasn't using because Dice gave me his suite. So when Kenny and Happy went out with Andrew, I was alone on that floor. Does that make any sense? Because Dice was in his house.
Sounds creepy.
But it was actually a creepy vibe in that fucking place.
They couldn't have just used like photos of Dice instead of bad reenactments.
Maybe they're not allowed to. They might need permission to use those and then get permission from the fucking
Fuck
photographer.
you.
That might be why.
Yeah, maybe.
It all has to do with permission and legal shit.
Yeah.
They could have got I was not busy. I would have bounced in there to the music. Oh, good Vegas music, guys.
Yes, damn it.
It's
It's that wacky comedian music. Look out, here he comes.
I was such an idiot when I was a kid when they would have
When you were a kid?
reenactments.
Yeah, still an idiot.
When they have I used to watch Unsolved Mysteries constantly.
Unsolved Mysteries.
And
Yes.
they'd have reenactments. And I remember for a long time just being like, oh, this is what happened. And then getting to a certain age where I go, how the fuck did they get this on film if it's an unsolved mystery?
Yeah.
Not too long after that, I discovered reenactments.
Kenny said, worst actor portrayal ever. Look at the person who plays me. I should sue for defamation. How do you think he feels? Wait till he sees the real you.
Exactly.
This is the guy?
And how are you going to sue an ostrich? That'd be great if they just got an ostrich, put him there.
An ostrich with a tie on.
Yes, he's just pecking at food at the bar.
Being mean to people.
Yes. Well, let's continue with Jim Norton's celebrity ghost story. Very scary. You're drinking.
So
It was the night of our first show. Andrew
Jimmy
was there with his two
putting down some
bodyguards,
drinks.
Kenny and Happy Face. And on this night, Andrew said to me, the suite they give me is not going to be used. Do you want to stay in it? Now, as the opening act, you never get to stay in a suite. Ever. So I was like, yeah, of course I want this. It was probably the first time I'd ever stayed in a suite.
Sweet.
And I went up to the suite.
Doesn't sound like him either.
No.
And that's how you know Stacey, he has gloves.
Yeah.
Oh, the crooked
I get off
hallway.
on the 9th floor.
They skewed the camera
The
to
entire
one side
floor
to
was vacant.
make the hallways
I was gonna be
tilted.
just me and a hotel floor full of empty rooms.
You're like Jack Torrance.
And I got a slightly creepy feeling.
Oh.
They're flashing ghost faces.
Yeah, they flashing evil people.
I felt like I was being watched. as I
Slightly
walked
creepy
down the
has turned
hallway.
into him like furrowing his brow at every door he passes. And
Were you doing that?
No, but I did. I'll tell you
So
what
I
I
got
did do
into
out of that
this-
floor. I went back instead of. I left the high roller suite for a while, and I got a prostitute
I was saying that.
to come to my regular room. On the 9th floor, I had a room down the hall, so I went in there just for the prostitute. This way, if they came back, they wouldn't know what room I was in.
Right. I was
Gonna be
thinking
on
the
DVD
same
extra?
thing.
What's that?
Is that going to be on the DVD extra?
I think I mentioned that, but I think they left it out.
of
They,
course they did. They didn't
yeah.
want this to be the ghost of prostitutes past.
As I'm watching, I'm just like, yeah, they're leaving something out. A prostitute,
They
I'm
left, yeah,
sure.
they left a couple of things out.
Yeah. Right. Ooh, nice digs.
So I got into the suite. I mean, it was the biggest hotel room I've
Tubular
ever
Bells
been in.
Exorcist
I
sounding.
was thrilled.
Look at my smile, Malone, smiling.
There was a fireplace. There was a bedroom, and there was a billiard room with a full pool table and cues and sticks and all that.
Nice.
So it was everything you'd want, even though it was an older hotel, and the suite had obviously seen better days. There had been many, many, many years of people coming in and out of this place. And I knew nobody else was going to be showing up at the suite that night, so I latched the door. The door had one of those, looks like, shaped like that. And it closes over the lock. So
We've
even if somebody
seen them,
opens
Jimmy.
it-
We've
Yeah,
all
I
been to
love
hotels.
your explanation.
We've all
The
been
best
to
part
hotels.
of the thing is me explaining, and then they show the demonstration.
Yes.
See, he was not lying. Looks like this, like two parentheses.
Like this.
And then everybody goes, he couldn't have just said latch.
Yeah, but I know, but I was actually that was clipped in. I was describing what my escort had hanging down. It was shaped like this. She was a lovely girl, like a giant hot dog.
many, many years of people coming in and out of this place.
The doorknob was round.
It was shaped like this, and I pulled my cock
So I
out.
latched the door. The door had one of those, looks like, shaped like that.
Look at how awkward my hands are.
Closes
Look at my
over
fucking
the
fingers are splayed like a
box. When
cadaver.
Somebody opens it.
There were
this
3
generally opens this
hinges on the.
The door swung when you opened it, as opposed to Star Trek.
That night.
Faggot, shut up.
There was a part of me that was embarrassed even alone to admit that I was really uncomfortable in this room and that I was slightly frightened to be by myself.
Wow.
So I found myself
I'll
just
tell you why.
doing things to
Here's why I didn't go out, because I wasn't feeling well. I had like a flu or I was really feeling sick. So I might have eaten something bad on the plane or whatever, but I was definitely not feeling well. That's why those guys went out without me.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
was feeling ill.
But you still called a prostitute.
Yeah, you're never too sick for that.
Oh, okay.
I was ill, but I wasn't illin'.
Yeah.
And the billiard room was above me. Not that that matters, but
Oh, it was a 2-floor
yes.
suite?
But
Oh,
they're like, just say it's 1 floor because it'll be hard to do that for the reenactment to get a
Right,
2-floor suite.
exactly.
Now, how did the door lock?
yes.
Is there some kind of mechanism on it?
Yeah,
Or?
there was a. I mean, I'm just putting out my Blair's cousin Jerry from Facts of Life hands, the palsy hands. It was shaped like this, and I walked. And you guys can't see, but I was doing the finger walk in midair.
Yes, of course.
Putts, fucking bent-handed putts.
to be by myself. So I found myself just doing things to avoid going to bed.
Getting a prostitute.
I
Jerking
showered.
off.
I put the TV on, and
Not
I went
television.
into the billiard room.
No, TV. He turned the TV on.
I was gonna play pool,
Uh-oh.
but I just felt stupid playing it by myself. So I took the balls, they were in the pockets, I took them out of the pockets. I racked it.
Rack is a triangular-shaped item. It's like my hands are making now.
I racked it, and girls' tits
You know, I
are
just got ready for a game of 8-ball, and then I left the rack on the table.
Oh.
And I figured we'll play it tomorrow. I was just not even thinking coherently. I was just doing something to be doing something.
Ominous music, man.
Yes.
And they did get the creepiness of the room. Oh,
What?
shit.
Demon face. It's
They're
so
flashing
good.
demon face.
And then I finally went back to the bedroom,
That's where he looks like me, see?
Oh,
closed the door,
okay.
and actually
Alone
locked
in the
it.
bedroom.
Yes.
And went to sleep.
Perfect.
3 or 4 hours later,
You're asleep. I just slept with a light on. Pretty
I
scary.
was awakened by the sound of a cue ball hitting pool balls. There's no other sound like that in the world. And I heard murmuring,
Murmur, murmur, murmur.
so I'd assumed that just Kenny and Happy Face had come to the suite. And it made me feel better.
Oh,
I felt like I wasn't alone. I felt more comfortable.
oh boy.
Because Kenny was there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew the laughs would be coming.
Spooning with Jimmy in the bed.
Don't worry, Jim.
Yeah, giant seahorse.
Then I was kept awake by the sound of the pool balls, and I started to get irritated.
Irritated. He goes from being glad they're there to like, shut up. Oh. Use a
So,
lot of echo and
I got
reverb
up.
on this show, I noticed.
It's a loud pool game.
Echo and reverb, very scary.
You think I was asleep on the table hearing it that loud?
Yeah. All right, he's walking out.
I looked.
There it is.
The door was still latched from the inside.
Now, if I may explain
There
for
was
20
obviously
minutes
no
how
way
this latch
anybody
works.
could have got-
Maybe I should do an example of what inside and outside the differences
Yes.
are.
Yeah.
Maybe I could sprinkle rain on myself. This would be outside. Fool.
Now, this is a great little reveal for this. You walk out, you look, and because I wasn't even thinking, it's like, okay, he thinks Kenny and Happy Face and whatnot, they're playing pool. They came in, and then when you go, but the door's latched, I'm like, but the door's latched.
That's why we spent half an hour finding out about the latch.
Yes, it was a little foreshadowing. I like it.
Yeah, you want to shadow 5 and 6 still, right, guys?
No.
Nope.
And
Whatever.
so you walk past the latched door.
into the suite. And I was creeped out.
Just funny mirror. Creeped out. Oh, Jimmy. All right. All right.
I still could hear the sound of the pool balls. And as I walked towards the billiard room, I could hear little odd voices that I knew were not Kenny, and I knew it was not Happy Face.
Happy Face.
Yeah. Mike.
I wasn't imagining it, and I know I'm not crazy.
That's a shining angle.
Yes. Opening the door to the billiard room. Ah!
I walked into the room. The pool balls had been broken out of the rack.
Jesus.
They were all over the table. It looked like somebody had been playing pool.
Whoa.
I felt like I was in a nightmare.
Holy jeez.
Suddenly,
Jimmy.
I heard somebody saying, I'm dry. My mouth is dry. So I looked towards the window, and I saw the reflection, a guy's face. Oh my God. Awful, ugly face. It looked like he was being hurt, like he was involved in a struggle with somebody else.
Of course.
It was a reflection of
Awful
something
ugly face. That was it.
that was happening in the room. The but there was nothing going on in the room. At that point, I was as scared as I've ever been of anything in my life.
Oh. Wow. Wow.
The ghost do. I'm dry.
Oh my
Came back
God.
upstairs with me.
How scary is that?
mouth is dry.
I think I said teeth at one point too, but again, I wanted to be. I didn't want them to go on and see.
Right.
And then go, oh, we
right.
can't show. So yeah, I was
Yes.
kind of being a little.
Fucking Edgar.
Big before the commercial reveal.
Yeah,
I got a text from my ex, and she said, when they had the Edgar actor saying his mouth was dry, I just
we're
felt
gonna watch
humiliated for him, trying to find a motivation and channel a man who was killed, and it's just a shitty Edgar Mellencamp.
Yes, that poor actor. What am I doing here? I have to say my mouth is dry.
How long
Yeah.
are my fingernails?
Yes, yes.
Oh, because I guess I told her I was going to do it, and she said when he said mouth is dry, I'm like, oh God, no! I swear, before you walked into the pool room, I was praying you backed out of doing the Edgar thing. It's just so embarrassing. He's not dead. He's alive, an April Foolsing person. People on Twitter. April Fools. That's the guy you played. Like, this is the real.
This is the fucking thing. It's a joke.
By the way, I've been awake for an hour. I have 13% of my battery gone, and I've listened to 3 songs. This fucking is enraging.
Happen. Is
Yeah,
that the new one?
It's the updated, when you update the old phone with the new operating system.
Uh-huh.
It's just horrendous, Apple.
Yeah, I had to shut a bunch of systems off on mine to even have it last
You
a
did?
while. Yeah.
Gotta get the battery case.
What systems? Oh, that's good.
Like fucking I just shut Siri off and
Yeah, shut off Siri, shut off location services.
location on
shut off-
certain
off.
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
apps, and it's just a big pain in the goddamn ass.
Okay.
Should we finish watching?
Yeah.
this
Yes,
terrifying
please,
story?
please.
Very frightening.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Oh, what happened? Oh, there we go.
The reflection,
Reflection of the
the
window.
guy's face, but there was nothing going on in the room. And every instinct I had said, just go.
Yes.
Get out.
Yes.
Something is very, very wrong. I walked out of the room.
Poor Edgar.
I was so frightened that I just quietly walked out of the suite and I walked down to the casino.
In your pajamas?
Yeah. My
I
PJs.
found Kenny and Happy Face.
What?
I told them a little of what had happened. I just told them this is a creepy, creepy place. And they came back upstairs with me. And we walked into the room. The vibe of the room was different than it was when I had walked out.
That's what I say
There
when
was
I'm
something
bombing
about
and the
those
comic
guys.
before me did well.
The vibe of the room was a little different.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be having what I call fun.
Yeah, exactly. Those
good
weird
time.
things that they were doing with their mouths that showed teeth and have disappeared.
All right, so now you're up in the room
Being
there
with
with
me.
the.
I just didn't feel like whatever was there was there. I packed up my bags and I went down to the end of the hall with those guys and stayed in the original room I was assigned.
Oh, scary.
The next night we were down in the showroom. I was talking to one of
It's this
the
Captain Kangaroo
Usher.
guy.
Fuck yeah, the guy, by the way, the guy playing the,
Oops, your mic fell out of the stand.
yeah,
Jimmy.
it's the ghost telling me not to tell the story. Fucking ghosts are real.
You believe this one, Chip?
Fuck yeah. Fucking Edgar.
You know Edgar, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
it's him?
yeah.
So this guy that they got to play it is fucking hilarious. He looks like Greg the Hammer Valentine on the Insane Clown Posse show.
Yeah, he's got like long white hair.
He's an old white guy, but the guy was black in real life. That's why
Oh.
when you hear him talk, he sounds like a black guy, but it doesn't fit this face.
Oh no, but they got a
Old white,
white
guy.
guy.
Old Ofe.
with a
With his snow white mullet.
yeah.
I said, I'm upstairs in the top floor. At the end of the hallway, I told him in the suite, and he said, "Oh, they got you in the Edgar suite." And I'm like, "What do you mean? Why do you call it that?" And he said, when the mob ran Vegas, there had been a murder in that suite. Somebody named Edgar, and it was just something that
Trying to
people
keep it
who worked
together
in the
there.
hotel knew.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you're playing some bull.
Oh, there's Edgar. Edgar's tied to a chair.
He wants a drink of water.
Give us a name.
I'll try.
What'd you say?
And then they choke him out. Poor Edgar.
When I heard that, I was so creeped out. And even though I worked the Stardust for another couple of years with Dice, I never went back to that suite.
The Edgar suite.
Yeah.
Oh, they got you in the
Stardust
Edgar
closed
suite.
in 2006 and was ultimately demolished
How
by
dramatic.
implosion.
Yes,
By
by implosion. Let me explain how this works.
What I took from the
my head should have that
experience
happen.
was that there is
Like the
something
World Trade Center.
that
Right.
exists that is beyond anything I wanted to acknowledge.
Yes, nothing is success.
And it changed the way I saw things.
Edgar's out the window again.
Right. See, the thing was, I had said his name was Edgar. I said that I heard the name Edgar.
Yeah.
During the thing, the guy was saying something about Edgar. So when the guy said you're in the Edgar suite, it was a callback to the name I had heard in the
Yes.
room.
Perfect.
But instead, they use that as the reveal, where everybody can look at their TV going, Edgar?
I liked the bellhop's explanation was that, you know, there was a guy named Edgar and he was killed and everybody at the hotel knew about it.
And they just called it the Edgar
was no
suite.
The Edgar
story
suite.
behind
None.
How did
No story whatsoever.
how did the bellhop know that the mob was depriving him of water?
Yeah, yeah. How
His
did
mouth
they
was
know
dry.
that?
I don't know, to be honest. No, no,
Maybe.
the mob, he didn't say that. That was just
Yeah.
what the ghost, I'd seen the ghost say.
Well, they had his character in the reenactment asking the mob for what he said. My mouth is dry before they
yeah,
killed
but I
him.
had seen
Yeah,
that.
Jim
in
had
the
heard
window.
that.
I saw that in the window.
Yeah.
I saw the ghost. I'm a ghost.
I do a really good
August.
Edgar impression.
I bet the mobsters,
Yeah.
in their jovial way, when they kill people, later on, probably told people, "Oh, you remember Edgar?
Yeah.
We're ready to fucking kill him, and all he worries about is like water. He fucking saying his mouth was dry."
Right, he was just trying to make April Fool's jokes the whole time.
Poor Edgar. I actually felt bad for poor Edgar there. He was like crying.
Shut up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's over.
I wanted a glass of water. Boo.
It's very scary.
Shut up.
Edgar, you should have just cut through
I'm
the
a
ropes with your
ghost.
fingernails.
Yeah, use those awful fingernails as knives.
Yes, I should have.
What did you do, Edgar, that made the mob so mad?
I said in the casino, I said, hey, let me see your cards, and I knocked them down. Apple Falls.
Oh, April Falls. Doesn't even give anyone a chance to be fouled.
No, I'm just glad that Edgar is dead.
I know.
The best is just my manager can't get it right. He's ruining his. I told you he's ruining his
he
life.
can't get it right.
This is how he says it.
Okay.
Like this, we'll be in the restaurant and the sushi restaurant, and the lady will come over and go, "What would you like?" And he'll go, "I want cannonballs, Apple Falls."
That's not right.
It's so loud and humiliating.
Buzz.
Well, so I'm glad they showed it, and they pay you to go. This is why it sucks. Because you go back to these places, and you make more money to do a reenactment than you do for the original thing, but they send guys back to their original place, but the Stardust was destroyed.
Oh, well, yeah. By implosion, I hear.
Yeah, by
something.
implosion.
Implosion.
Do I talk with that awful cadence all the time? How does anybody listen to me? It's terrible. Fucking terrible. I'm terrible at speaking for...
Demolished. I wonder if
I'm a fucking
in
fool.
the wreckage of the Stardust, in the pile of rubble after the implosion.
Is an unused condom?
Just a big pile of those door latches.
They survived.
Yes, they're shaped like this.
I like where you're telling the story when you get to the reveal that it's the Edgar suite. You roll your eyes and look away from the camera, and you can see in that moment you're about to crack.
It's like
You don't
no,
understand how many
Edgar.
times I was about to crack when I'm sitting there because you're in a room, it's dark and that light's on you. It's like it's like the old CIA, what you picture,
the
like just a light on you.
yeah.
And you're talking and you feel like such a dick because occasionally the director will jump in and go, and could you say but he'll just look for a term like, and I was. Instead of I'm going to, like little things like that, because they know how they're going to piece the story together. So they need different options on things like that. This way, however they show it works. It makes sense. And they know what they're doing, and they actually piece together a coherent story.
How, from when you got asked to do the show, how early on did you know you were going to do Edgar?
When my manager first said they'd like you to do Celebrity Ghost, before the T was out.
That quick?
Yeah. It was going to be Chip or Edgar. Uncle Paul made an appearance, but I just couldn't do too many because even alone I was going to laugh.
Yeah.
Now, where does this story diverge from fact to Edgar? Like what
Fiction.
What actually happened?
Faction to non-faction.
Faction.
Saying.
I got really scared when I went upstairs and I woke up. I was not feeling well.
Yeah.
And I thought Kenny and Happy had come back, and I heard the sound of a pool ball dropping onto the table.
Okay, that dunk, like
That
or knock.
unmistakable sound.
Yeah, it's like okay.
And so I went upstairs.
Uh-huh.
And I saw that the pool table was the room was empty.
But
there was no pool ball on
no
the
pool
table.
balls on the table? He's like, no.
I was
No
very
pool balls.
scared.
You were scared, though.
I was, yeah.
So you're probably just mistaken about the sound.
It could have been anything.
No, because I heard it more than once. I was really. I kept waking up, feeling like I wasn't alone. That I was hearing things. It was really creepy. That was one of the worst nights I ever had.
Go back to sleep, Daddy.
Yeah, I wish that was that simple.
Balls on your face.
Yeah.
I heard the sound of balls falling on my chin.
Yeah, and I smelled onions. And I realized someone had brought fucking Burger King into the room. And I'm like, oh no, it's just a gentleman with a crisis. No, I was actually really frightened in that room. That was very fucking creepy. Dice got creeped out in that room too. Like the hotel, he didn't like it.
You have to know, like,
Yeah, the Edgar suite.
Yeah.
it's just that feel, too, that, like, so much history and
Old school, man.
old school, so things probably did happen.
Oh, without a doubt. It was like
You
one of those
know.
old mob rooms. And,
Yeah.
It just didn't have a feeling of being cared for or being relevant. And, I know that feeling well. And even backstage, that's where I got my Don Rickles picture. Me and Florentine were doing that. After a while, we were doing that with Dice. This is a while after. And even the backstage area it was like Wayne Newton's old dressing rooms were back there. And it was just creepy and old and cryptic. And I don't know what year was the Stardust built?
Oh, man. Probably, I'm going to say
50s?
50s. 53 is my guess. 19 and I have no idea.
1958.
8.
Yeah, so that was way as
And it was demolished by implosion in 2006.
Wow.
implosion.
Damn. Yeah, that's like old school Vegas.
2007.
I wonder if when you walk by the site now, what's there instead?
Yeah, what is there?
Probably nothing frightening.
Oh,
But do you think
Probably an
that,
empty comedy club.
do you think that you can still, if you listen closely on a clear night, hear my mouth is dry?
You can, yes, because what's happening is somebody's ordering a drink, and there's so few people in the room, you can hear each individual. And he's probably whispering to the waitress who's sitting next to him, wishing anybody else was performing there so she could make money. I will be in Vegas the 27th and 29th of December.
Oh, yes.
Returning to the scene of this horrific
wow.
incident. I'm doing the Hard Rock Cafe. Thank God, a newer hotel
Yeah.
to celebrate the New Year, not New Year's Eve, but around there for
Wow.
UFC.
You guys, there's still nothing built on that site.
No? Wouldn't that be
That's
weird
how
if
it
they
go?
build a big casino called Edgar's? Whoa.
I just hope if you're staying at the Hard Rock that they don't put you in the Sheckler suite.
Oh, no.
Or the Chipperson.
The Chipperson.
The Chipperson room.
A young boy named Lyle.
Yeah, was lost. Hard Rock. How come they don't call it Soft Pebble?
A young comedian named Lyle Chipperson.
I would have. I couldn't do certain things you can't do because you know you'll laugh.
Yeah.
And then you don't. The whole time
jig
you're
is
doing
up.
something, you don't want to laugh because then you're afraid that they'll go all right and not air it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to keep your absurdity to a certain level.
I wonder who would get mad. Who do you think would get mad? If they
I don't
knew?
think anybody would, but
Yeah.
I don't think they want it to be something that's been very publicly a radio show.
No, they don't want their
Oh.
They would
credibility.
probably get upset if they filmed everything and paid everyone and then found out that it was just
A ruse?
a ruse.
A clever ruse?
Yeah, I wonder how many people do that though, just to be on the show.
I'd say
Like
all of them.
all of them. Yeah, I don't think the other guy from fucking Bosom Buddies had a real ghost
You don't
story
think
either.
there's
yeah,
enough
that was
celebrity
him.
ghost
Yeah.
stories to make a series?
Yeah, but you know what? Most people, even if they're lying, don't lie and make it an inside joke so
Right.
the whole radio show audience can then laugh at the show.
Oh no, I wasn't lying. I was telling the truth. That actually happened.
You were?
Yeah. That's where Edgar comes from.
Yeah, no.
I actually have more than one ghost story.
You do
I do.
a real one.
Yeah, another real one.
Save it for the next season.
Impart it.
I won't reveal it here. It's too frightening.
Oh, well, I would like to hear it.
Can't we just have a taste?
No. But again, that's a young man telling bad jokes. Whatever.
Whatevs.
Whatever.
That's ludicrous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't give a fudge.
Yeah.
Chip's probably afraid of ghosts anyway.
Yeah. Pussy.
Fuck.
He is a pussy.
Punch a ghost right in the face.
Will ya?
Fuck yeah. Haunt this.
Yeah.
And grab your nuts.
Very
Yeah.
scary.
Haunt my pecker.
Nice.
The haunted Pekka.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, that was great. I was very surprised at the reveal. I didn't know you kept it hidden very well.
Yeah, I kept that a big secret for the guys.
I wish they had just, like, they'd used all actors for the reenactment except Club Soda Kenny.
Yeah,
Like, how great would it have been
Yeah,
if
to see
just
Kenny.
Kenny is there in the reenactment?
yeah, he probably just didn't see the ad they put for a monster. Seeking monster with organization skills.
They did get a big, tall guy.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. He was like,
Big,
looked like Kenny.
tall guy. He'd come to the room. Ugh. Shut up.
You were definitely playing it. Nice.
Talking
Like,
slow.
straight. Very, slow, calculated.
Methodically.
And picture of Edgar. Who played Edgar?
I don't know.
Put him on IMDb and
Yeah.
see who fucking
Yeah.
see what else he's done.
Probably DB Cooper. Characters of.
It's too bad they didn't know his last name. It would have been so great to see Edgar Mellencamp show up on
Yeah, but then you
IMDb.
Google that.
No, that's true.
Can't have that.
Well, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, let's find out if this is a true story and it's just you.
You think they Google
Well, this
the
guy-
stories?
This guy's on. Well, yeah, they probably want to find if there's a real a name attached to it. You know,
Oh,
I'm
right.
being. I don't have the money I owe you. The mullah.
Some old man with a mullet said, "Oh, you into Edgar suite?"
Yeah. Opposed to the 19-year-old black guy who.
Yeah. You into Edgar, sweet motherfucker? Oh yeah, Alec Baldwin. That's a whole story. I guess we could
Awesome.
get into that after we take a
Yeah,
little break.
I get. They
It's kinda
really.
fun.
I love the fact that they just keep poking. Look at the way these fucking vultures are all over this guy. He's just an actor.
Yeah. Why?
In
why
front
do
of
they
his
do this?
car. I don't like the thing is he's giving them what they want every time. He gives
I
them
know.
gold.
Yes.
But it's probably hard not to. These scum because they really are scumbags.
They chase him down the street and
Probably.
was that Donald Trump on the phone?
He's a different kind of a guy. He gets very angry. I have people taking my picture. I let him take my picture.
Do you think
Every
he's
time
serious?
a photographer takes my picture, I don't punch him in the face.
Do you think he's serious that he would
Oh,
quit
Donald.
the industry?
Oh, that
I don't
Donald.
think he'll quit. No, he's been saying that before. I mean, he said it before. He does get very
Look
angry.
at the way
I
they're
assume
putting the
it's
mic
real
in the
anger.
face, like,
I know it's very fucking.
and they just stand.
intrusive.
How they just stand? She ought to be able to knock that microphone out of her
There's
hand.
a guy who's now allegedly made some gay slurs. He's
Who cares? Who cares if he said faggot when he's mad?
I know.
God
You're
Almighty!
allowed to do that.
Yeah,
Gay slurs.
Fox News is loving this because he's on MSNBC.
Yeah.
Well, you know who else is on MSNBC? Reverend Al, who said those Greek homos. But, apparently if enough time goes by and you're black, it's fine. All right. I guess we'll take a little break, as they call it. I like calling it a break-a-rooney. Take a break-a-rooney.
Hey there, break-a-rooney.
And we'll come back. Yeah, I'd like to talk about the Alec Baldwin thing and the political correctness gone mad in this country. Oh, haywire. After this world.
We'll return after these messages.
All right, well, that sucked. To hear the Opie and Anthony Show 5 days a week live on satellite radio, online on your phone or tablet, or even on demand, go to SiriusXM.com. Also, interact with the Opie and Anthony Show on Twitter, @Opie Radio, @Anthony Cumia, and @Jim Norton.